Angela Sanders was living the dream. At least, that's what her friends and colleagues thought. At just 30, she had climbed the ranks to become a junior partner at a prestigious law firm in New York. With her sharp wit, infectious laugh, and magnetic personality, Angela had a way of lighting up any room. She had been in a steady 3-year relationship with Jonathan Marks, a charming investment banker who seemed perfect on paper. Together, they looked like a power couple straight out of a magazine. But not everyone celebrated Angela's success. Her two closest friends, Jamie and Stephanie, had known Angela since college. On the surface, they appeared to be her biggest cheerleaders, but beneath the facade, jealousy festered. Stephanie, a struggling graphic designer, often felt overshadowed by Angela's achievements. Jamie, who had been through a string of failed relationships, couldn't help but compare her chaotic love life to Angela's picture-perfect romance. One evening, after a particularly glamorous firm event where Angela had been the center of attention, Jamie and Stephanie sat nursing their martinis in a dimly lit bar. "You know," Jamie began, her tone dripping with venom, "she's not as perfect as everyone thinks. Rumor has it she's been sleeping with one of the senior partners to get ahead." Stephanie's eyes widened. "Are you serious? Who told you that?" Jamie shrugged nonchalantly, sipping her drink. "I just heard things. You know how these firms work." The two concocted a plan to spread the baseless rumor. Stephanie told a friend who told another friend, until whispers about Angela's alleged affair reached the ears of her colleagues. Angela, oblivious to the storm brewing around her, noticed the cold stares and hushed conversations at work, but brushed them off as office politics. One night, during a casual dinner with Jamie and Stephanie, Angela mentioned the odd tension at the firm. "It's so weird," she said, twirling her wine glass. "People have been acting different, almost like they're avoiding me." Jamie feigned concern. "That's strange. Maybe someone's jealous of your promotion." Stephanie chimed in, her voice trembling with false sincerity. "You know how people can be, Angela. You're so successful, it's bound to make some people uncomfortable." Meanwhile, Jonathan had been acting distant. Angela chalked it up to stress from his demanding job, but in truth, Jamie had been working her way into his life. It started innocently enough, a random meeting at a coffee shop. Then a few flirtatious texts. Jamie, emboldened by her jealousy and spite, crossed every boundary. One night, while Angela was working late, Jamie and Jonathan gave in to their desires. But secrets never stay buried for long. Angela's world began unraveling when she received an anonymous email with photos of Jamie and Jonathan together, looking far too intimate. Her heart sank as she scrolled through the damning images. Without hesitation, she confronted Jonathan that evening. "What the hell is this?" she demanded, throwing her phone on the table. Jonathan paled. "Angela, I can explain." "Don't you dare," she snapped, her voice trembling with fury. "How long has this been going on? And with Jamie, of all people?" Before he could respond, Angela stormed out, dialing Stephanie's number. When Stephanie answered, Angela's voice was icy. "Did you know about this?" Stephanie hesitated, and Angela's heart sank further. I didn't know how to tell you," Stephanie stammered. "Jamie told me it was a mistake, that it didn't mean anything." Angela hung up without another word. Betrayed and humiliated, she spent the next few days in a haze of anger and despair. But Angela wasn't one to wallow. Fueled by rage and a desire for justice, she began piecing together the extent of Jamie and Stephanie's betrayal. She discovered that Jamie had been the source of the false rumors at the firm, and that Stephanie had helped spread them. Angela decided it was time to confront them both. She invited Jamie and Stephanie to her apartment under the guise of wanting to talk things through. When they arrived, Angela's expression was unreadable. She poured them wine and sat across from them, her piercing gaze making them squirm. "I know everything," she began, her voice steady. "The rumors, the lies, the betrayal. I know Jamie slept with Jonathan, and I know you've both been trying to ruin my life." Jamie's face turned red. "Angela, Save it," Angela interrupted. "You're not sorry for what you did. You're sorry you got caught." Stephanie burst into tears. "Angela, please, I never wanted to hurt you. Jamie dragged me into this." Angela's laugh was cold. "Spare me the theatrics. You're just as guilty." She stood, towering over them. "Here's what's going to happen. Jamie, I've already sent the evidence of your little affair to Jonathan's boss. Good luck explaining that to him. And Stephanie, I've contacted every client who hired you through my recommendations to let them know exactly what kind of person you are. Both women stared at her, stunned. You can't do this, Jamie whispered. Angela smirked. Watch me. As they left, Angela felt a strange sense of relief. She had lost 2 friends and a boyfriend, but she had also shed the toxic people who had been dragging her down. For the first time in weeks, she felt free. And as she looked out at the city skyline, she realized that her story was far from over. It was just beginning.